So we have been doing this thing about ISO inspiration for artists, and I would like to know something that you are finding inspiring.
I'm just finding some lovely flippant shit on Facebook that I'm finding inspiring at the moment. Which, why not, right? Like, we're at that point where whatever floats your boat, I feel. Sir Patrick Stewart is on Facebook, of Star Trek, X-Men fame.
Yes, I'm familiar with Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
One of my favourite eps in Extras by Ricky Gervais as well is Sir Patrick Stewart's episode.
Oh, so good.
It's so good. But look, he's also spent a lot of time in the Royal Shakespeare Company, you might have known. And so what he started to do once isolation kicked in was he decided to do a thing called hashtag a sonnet a day. Where, Lauren, he would read a sonnet of Shakespeare's every day while he was in isolation until he was able to be free.
Oh, wow. How many days is that now?
Well, good, thank you for asking. He's up to day 50, would you believe?
Wow.
And you know what's brilliant about it? Like, number one, you get to see him every day and the different backgrounds and him in casual clothing. It's a side of him that you never really get to see, right? But
Yeah.
the beautiful thing about it all is that I just appreciate the words coming out of his mouth. I'm not necessarily a Shakespeare mad fanboy, but it just sounds delightful for 2 minutes a day.
Oh, well, he has an amazing voice. And I mean, whether you're a huge Shakespearean fan or not, you know, the iambic pentameter, the rhythm of that with his voice would just be amazing.
The other thing about it too, Lauren, is that, or the insight that I've taken out of it, is that sometimes he doesn't re-record if he stuffs it up, which I really love. Like, he goes halfway through, he realizes he's stuffed up and he starts again, or he just like plows through it. So look, it's just nice to see him be authentic in that way, and to also see him every day, just the different moods he's in, the clothes he's in, the parts of the house that he's in. It's this really lovely look at celebrity and artists.
Yeah, it sounds like a really intimate sort of vulnerability, I suppose, which is definitely one of your things.
Definitely one of my things.
Yeah.
So Lauren, what about you? What's been inspiring you?
Okay, so I was talking to Andrea McCannon, and she was telling me about a friend of hers who has set up this. It's a virtual online tour of a gallery. It's quite a cool thing, and the idea of it is that it's around changing the way you look at and consider art. So it takes you through a gallery and it shows you different art pieces, and then it'll focus in on one and provide some information.
Yeah.
I feel like in every day, I often think, oh, I'd love to go to the gallery more often, but I don't necessarily do it. But going to a gallery online at the moment is such an easy thing to do and a way to sort of escape from our current reality and be inspired by art.
Yeah, so have you got some galleries that are doing this at the moment?
There's a whole whack of things online, so I definitely recommend Googling online gallery tours. But in the process of doing that, I discovered Google Arts and Culture, which is this app that you download.
Oh, I've seen it. Yes. Go ahead. This, great.
And it's funny because I downloaded it for the gallery, the pocket gallery function, because you can do that, just that, go to galleries. It's apparently awesome, but my iPhone 6 doesn't let me do that.
Bloody technology.
But it does let me do a couple of other things. I can do an art selfie, and you take a selfie, and then it gives you a portrait, a famous portrait that is similar to you.
Yes, right.
The one that came up from me is Elizabeth Hampstead Elliott Mount.
Right.
A shepherd created a portrait of his wife, and she kind of looks like me. So that's one thing you can do. You can take photos of things and then put a style on it.
So what I'm hearing out of this, though, basically, is that what's keeping both of us inspired or positive is just flippant shit on the internet.
Flippant shit on the internet.
I think that's what we've learned. Is that a good place to finish?
In both cases, I'd like to say flippant shit involving high art.
Oh, yeah. Valuable flippant shit.
Yeah.